So after 30 years of life, this is the advice I think is worth sharing to you in 3 minutes. So I take this information and I break it into 3 different chunks. One chunk is for someone that's kind of growing and coming to age. Another one is someone that's a little bit older. They think they have it figured out, but they don't quite. And then in the middle, I would say, is where you're really supposed to be in the end. And that will really shoot you forward in your life and really just change your perspective of how you see the world. So let's get into the first chunk here. The first piece to all this is someone that is a consumer in this world. If you're American, you are totally guilty of this, or you've been guilty of this at one point in your life. You consume everything. It's the type of person that in their free time, whenever they have downtime, the screen's coming up, popping up instantly. You're watching TV, you have your phone, you're scrolling feeds, you're scrolling social media, or whatever it may be. You are basically a consumer and you're at the will of everyone around you. So you take what everyone else gives you. You're not really providing anything meaningful to the world. You're just taking from the world. It's a very selfish, self-centered place to be. But if you are consuming all the time, day in and day out, and you're only consuming, then that is the problem here. The opposite of that side is what I would say is the critic. So it's the person that now acknowledges I am no longer a consumer, but I see the world around me and now I'm critical of everything. You can still do all these things. You can still consume everything and still have this mindset. But now it's, oh, I'm no longer a consumer. It's now I'm better than everyone around me kind of thing. So it's now I see the world through this critical eye. But now instead of actually doing the work or doing anything, I am now going to start providing feedback and my opinion to what these things are. And you at least have a perspective about things, but you are not really providing any value anymore. You're actually making things probably harder, more frustrating for the people around you. And each is important at certain times. There is a time and context that these two ideas and these two ways of thinking are important and you need to do them. You need to consume at times. You need to be critical at times and be aware of things going on around you. But I think of those two mindsets, they are steps in maturity. And once you mature past them, you then find yourself in the middle. And having the middle mindset is the most important one. And I think the one that will provide you the most value and meaning in your life. And when you have that perspective, you'll be so much farther ahead and you'll have wisdom now. So let's get to it now. So the middle mindset, I think, is the important mindset that after 30 years of my life, I've realized now, and I plan on having for the rest of my life now, is you need to have the creator and cultivator mindset. So no longer am I consuming the things of this world. No longer am I critical of the things of this world, but I am now a creator or cultivator. Basically, like it sounds, what that means is I am going to bring something new into this world based on the things I've seen or experienced, or I'm going to take something that already exists and I'm going to build on top of that. It's how we bring meaning and bring value back into this world of taking something that doesn't exist yet, putting things together that maybe haven't been put together before, or taking things that you've already experienced before and making something new out of that, I think is what's important. But this is the mindset that will change your perspective forever and for good. And when you stop consuming, stop being critical of the world around you, and then you start taking action and start creating and cultivating things, that's when good happens. That's when positive change starts to happen. And I'm not just going to be a victim of everyone else around me. I'm not just going to be at the will of those that are creators and cultivators around me and maybe are doing those things in negative ways. I think that is what unlocks a lot of value and a lot of life and a lot of happiness and meaning for people. I think that's so, so important. And I'm so glad to have now understood that.